Okay, so we're going to get started here. This training, I just kind of wanted to start being a little more proactive and a little more interactive with people, my Balloon Suite customers, and doing some more free webinars to help them. I do get a lot of the feedback that a lot of people need more assistance on understanding how to do different things. And once I train them, it's a lot easier and they understand it, but I also fear that a lot of the people aren't asking questions. So I want to make sure not only that, but I have a good set of video tutorials for people to watch. So we're going to start doing a few more videos, webinars for you to be part of. This part's going to go over the portal, how to use the portal, what the different sections do. And then I have different trainings coming up planned that will go over a lot more details, a lot of these sections and what exactly you need to do to manage your website. So hopefully by the end of this, by the time we get through with this coronavirus lockdown, that all of us have a good idea of what we need to do on their website. And we have a good game plan in play by all these webinars. So, but before we go too deep, I want to make sure everybody knows how to use their Balloon Suite portal to manage their website. We have a couple big updates coming out shortly here. So I want to make sure before we throw new things in the mix that everybody has a good solid understanding. So basically the plan here is to go through all the sections on the side here and show you exactly what all these sections do. Now the website that I'm currently logged into is the demo website for Balloon Suite. And you can see it here. So any changes that we make right now are going to be made live on this website. So one of the first issues that one of the questions I should say that people ask the most is how to edit and manage their homepage. So there's different sections that you can choose, and we have some future ones coming out here. So when you watch this, there might be additional options, but the options will basically be the same for managing your homepage. So we have a couple different sections here. This section up here is called the header. So this is where you can control your header. This is the navigation bar. And those are probably the two places that most people have trouble finding out where to edit in their website. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do that. Because it's not, if you don't know where it is, it's easy, but it can be tricky to find. So for everything on the homepage, you're gonna go into the website settings, and there's a tab here called template. And here on the template, you can control a lot of the stuff. For instance, the phone number and the header phone number. If you want to turn that on and off, you can hide that or show that. The order button, there's the button in the header. You can choose where it goes to when they click on it. So you can, if they click on that, what page it goes to. You can change the text. So if you wanted to say something different, you can change whatever that text says right there. This controls if you have a recent blog post on your homepage. So right here, if you're not blogging and you want to hide that from your homepage, you can just come in here and turn that off. These are your social media links. So if you notice, Pinterest is not turned on. So it has all three of them, but not Pinterest. But if I turn Pinterest on and save it, it's updated. You'll notice that Pinterest pops up there. So everything you make here is a live update. You can change the colors to your website. So if you ever happen to have a color scheme change, there's a color picker, or you can put color codes in there as well. So these are all the colors of your website that are used. And that goes first. So for instance, the primary color is this button. So if you want to match your logo, you pick the color and you change the colors, and it will change all the colors on the website to match your logo. Now, most of you that have gone through this have probably had me do this for you, so you never had to worry about colors. But if you're doing it on your own, that is where you will go in and edit those colors. The second part is the navigation bar. Actually, let's keep going. Let's go to the navigation bar last. Let's go to the other sections. So the next page part is your slideshow. This is a collection of images that you can use on your homepage to show recent features or recent events that are coming up. Whatever you want to focus on, you can create these. These are just images. And to set that up, you're going to come in here to the slider gallery. And here you can choose which gallery you want to show on that home page. So when you first start up, it's going to be blank. There won't be anything there. And I'll show you how to create galleries in a second. But once you create a gallery over here, you can come in here and you can select that gallery to be your homepage slideshow. And then we'll go into how you can edit the text and the images of those as well when we're editing the galleries. So this section right here, this is your services section. And this is a very important section for your website because it's important to have your main services or your main pages on your homepage, not only for your customers to easily find your services, but for Google and the search engines to know which pages are your main pages. So it helps with SEO. It also helps with your customers to be able to find what they're looking for. And that's the reason why we have these pages here. They could be categories to you. If you have a lot of different services that you offer, these can be categories to subpages with more services on those pages. But having these pages is crucial to your SEO and your customer experience. So to create these services and add them, there's a services section on the side here. And when you go in here, you'll see all these services that are already added. You can drag and change the order of them. But if you want to add a new service, you can come in here, choose the image that you want. This is the page that it'll link to. So when they click on it, you'll notice it goes to a page. This is the page you're selecting that they click on. And then when you add that, it'll go ahead and add it to your list of services. And now there's 5 of them. So now you have your services to show on your homepage. Back here in the settings, we're back here on the website settings page again, you can select how many per row are shown. So right now there's 4, add a 5th one in there. And then if I come in here and I change this to 2 per row, second update, it'll now change the size of those. One of the next features that we have coming out will be having 4 and 5, having 5 and 6 as an option here as well. Because I've run into quite a few times where I needed 5 or 6. So that's how you can control your services on your homepage. And then here is the title. So you can see my services, no longer there. Right there's the my services. So you can change that title if you'd like to say something else. A lot of people have asked it to be switched to our services. I'll probably switch that to be the default from now on. But if you want to say anything else, you can put that there. And then the last part is this little section here. This is the text, the content. The purpose of this is a quick little paragraph and introduction to welcome to the website. It's also good to have some SEO have some good keywords in there for local listings. So putting in there the kind of areas that you serve, this is a good area for this to be in there. So for on my website, I'd put top balloons in Utah, or whatever your service is. You can put a paragraph or so in here. You don't got to go too long, but just put a little bit of information on kind of what you offer, as well as the areas that you service. And these pages, this section is managed right here. So there's the title for here, and here's the text. You can just come in here and type in there whatever you would like. You can highlight it, bold it, put it center. Basically do whatever you would like in here, like a basic WYSIWYG editor. So you got bullet lists. So anything you do in here, once you save it, obviously I'm not going to save that, but it will update on your homepage. So that's probably been the biggest area that people have questions, is the header and the homepage. So hopefully if those, if you had questions on those, that kind of clarifies it a little bit as you're going through. If I know that was a lot of information at once, but I am recording this and the replay will be available as well. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in there. I'll come back to them at the end and make sure that we answer any questions that we hopefully have. So coming back here into the portal. The other part was the navigation bar that we talked about. So a lot of people can't have questions on how to edit or add to the navigation bar. So basically, once you have pages that are created for your website, you can come in here into your navigation section. In here in your navigation section, there's an option to select your navigation bar. Right now, there's just one navigation bar, but in the future release, we're going to have some navigation bars in the footer as well. So there might be additional navigation bar options. So once you select the header or select the navigation bar, you'll see this navigation bar represents exactly what's on this home page. And you can see the drop downs represent these sections here. So if you need to change where things are, it's easy as dragging and dropping it and moving things around. Save that. And when you come back, it updates your navigation bar. Obviously, I have too many, so it doesn't look good. I'll go with that again. But it's kind of just playing with it. So throw those under your services. And you can kind of play with that navigation bar to get to look however you would like. Over here is a list of all the pages, posts, different categories that you can add. So here's some pages that were created. If I want to add this page, which is not a good title, but we'll add it. It throws it there at the bottom. That's where it's supposed to go. You can leave it there. Otherwise, you can drag it wherever you want it to go. Over here on the side, you can delete if you don't like the pages and remove things. And this will control the navigation bar on your whole website. So on every page that you go to, all those are always going to be the same navigation bar. Perfect. So with the home page, I believe that covers everything. And then we'll just keep continually going down these sections so you can kind of understand how to properly edit your whole website. So the second thing is how to add pages and posts to your website. So if I want to come in here and let's say I'll offer a new service and I want to add it here under the services. Adding new pages in our Balloon Suite portal is very easy. When you come to the website, you click here under your pages, and here's a list of all the current pages that you have. If you don't have pages, or you need to create a new one, you can create a new page here. So here you can create a title. We're gonna throw in some dummy text data. So we have some content in there. Oops. All right, so we got some content in there. And then over here on the side, these are your SEO settings. So this is where you can control the SEO title and the meta description. Now, what these are used for is when you go to search on, when you go to search on Google, you'll notice here, there's two sections. There's that section, and then there's this section. This is your description, and this is your title. So a lot of times you want to make sure these are good descriptions and titles for SEO, as well as looking good for the search engines. And we're not going to go too deep into SEO right now. We'll do that later. But if you ever need to change these titles, this is where you can come in here and do that. So page redirect is if you were to share a URL and the URL changed, you could redirect them to a different page. So for instance, I used this a couple times for some people wanted to have a link in the home page to a link here back to the home page. So what I did is I put a redirect in here, called the page home, and then when they click on there, it redirects to the home page. So this is just an easy way of redirecting if you need to redirect someone to, let's say, an affiliate link, or if you're selling something, you can definitely put a redirect URL on there, and customers and whoever visits it won't actually see this page. They'll be taken to whatever you put in here. Over here is a new section that most people don't realize that we have. We now have the option for page types. So a regular website, which has content, It's just text and images, and you can come in here and you can add your own text and images. But there's also the option for your shop or category. So if you have a e-commerce, you can come in here and you can show product information. So for instance, I want to show my categories on this page. I'm going to have in here 4 categories per row. And then I want to show my occasions as well. I haven't set up occasions here. So we'll show featured products, do 4 products per row, and we'll put this after this. So when we create this page, this is now a shop page, and it now shows the products. I didn't check to make sure the products were fully set up, so it might not look 100% perfect. Oh, I have the redirect on there. That's why. So take that redirect off. Nah, keeping that redirect in there. We'll come back to that. It's caching the redirect, so it keeps redirecting it, so you can't see it. But basically, there we go. So you can see it shows the categories on that page. It shows the products on that page. These products didn't have any images. And then you can come in. So this can be your shop page. And that's how you can create a page that shows all of your e-commerce. So when they click on here, they can come to this shop page. So that would be the shop page. You can have occasions, and this controls the order of them. So if you want occasions to show first, you put a 1 there, categories come 2, featured products go 3, but maybe if I want the products at the top, then it kind of pushes everything down and kind of changes the order of the categories. So that's how you can show products if you never need to show products on your actual page. If you don't want to show, all you want to do is show products, your featured products, edit it, and all it has is the featured products. So I'm not going to go too deep into this section here. This is a WYSIWYG editor. If you ever need, you can come in here, there's HTML. But we have a pretty cool update coming out here shortly to allow you to be able to better manage your pages. So instead of just having raw HTML here with very limited ability to interact here, we have an update coming out where you'll be able to add different sections and be able to more easily create your pages without having to know any kind of type of HTML. So that'll be a future training when that page update comes out. That's basically done here, but that's going to be here shortly. And I'm excited for that because that's the only other big area of pain for people that I notice is how they make design and make their page look good. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I don't want to go too deep into that because in the next couple of weeks here, that will be, for the most part, irrelevant. Perfect. So the same thing over here is if it's a shop page, it shows the categories, then the subcategories. If you only want to skip straight to a specific category, you can come in here and you can show just one category. So we're going to show the category of balloon bouquets and only that category. And if it has subcategories, they'll be in here. There's not even any products in there assigned to it. Let's find what category those were under. Yeah, so you can see the category, we haven't assigned them to the categories themselves yet. So once you add products, the products will be featured here. And then if you have subcategories, when you're creating products, you can create subcategories. Those will be here as well. So if you have any questions on the pages, by all means, reach out, let me know. That's probably the hardest thing. When people ask me questions, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll create a quick screen cap and I will record what I'm doing and talk to them and send them a recording on my website and how I did certain things so they can do it in the future. So everybody has a specific need that they're going to have on each page. If you can't figure it out, let me know and we can definitely try to help you out and figure out what you need to do. A new feature that was just added, which a lot of people might not realize, you might have seen the email, is for uploading images. There's now an upload image box. So you can come in here and you can upload images, and you can actually pull in images from your Instagram account. So you're going to come in here, you can authorize Instagram. It'll go in and it will pull images from your Instagram account that you can upload, not use on your website, but you will actually be able to upload those images to use on your website. So this is my personal email, my personal Instagram, my cute little daughters. This new tool allows you to crop it. So if you need to crop it a little bit or rechange the size, you can crop it. If you need to make it a circle, you can make it a circle. And then it also allows you to rotate. One of the pains that we had was a lot of people would upload an image and it would be sideways. You can go ahead and rotate those images if you need to. Once you have the image exactly how you would like it, let's crop that out a little bit. Keep all those cute girls in there. Save, upload the image, and this will upload the image to be used. So you can see this image is now uploaded. You can click there to copy the URL. And then you can come in here and you can put that image anywhere in here. So I'll put that image right there. Put that URL in there that was previously uploaded. The alternative text, this is not shown on the website. It's only shown on the back end for the search engines and screen readers, which are what the blind people use to read websites. For your alternative text, you're going to want to use keywords for your services. So if you're uploading a picture of a balloon arch, you're going to put in here the type of balloon arch it is, explain what it is, put the keywords in there. Here's where you can change the size of it. So I'll make it 400 pixels. If you change it and it kind of makes things look kind of funky, there's this little button here to lock the ratio. You'll notice I can make it look kind of squished in because it doesn't change the height. But if you click this, it'll keep the height and the width the same ratios. Alignment is if you want it on the left or the right. So if you want it to be on the left and your text to be on the right. So I'll put this on the left, put an image in there, and you can see that image it's kind of squished a little bit, but when you view it on your website, it does look a little better. There's more spacing between them. So that's a new feature for images. Uploading images makes it very easy. If you ever need to use that image again, once you upload it, over here in the media section, that image, got too many images in here. Hasn't updated yet. So once it's updated, the image will be available here. You can come in here, you can copy that image, and you can use that image again. Just as before, you can still upload images here, but you no longer have to go back and forth between your pages and your navigation and your media to upload images to the website. So that's a recent update that most people don't realize, haven't been able to use in one of the pain points. So media section, very self-explanatory. It's where you can upload images and PDFs. So put an image in there. I'm not sure if if I have GIF as one of the available options. We'll see. This is an animated GIF. Yep, so it works. So the cool thing about this, our upload, is we are automatically taking care of the resizing for you. So on here, when you upload, it's going to shrink it down to a maximum of 1500 pixels. And what that means is if you take a picture on your phone, it's probably going to be a very large image. And then when you upload on your website, it can slow your website down if you upload a large image. So when you upload images here, for the most part, you don't really have to worry about the image being too large. It might be a little bit too big, but it's not going to be a huge difference to slow your website down. You definitely can, and I do it, make it exact size. But you don't have to worry about your website your images being too large. When you upload an image, we go in there, we decrease the size if it's too large to make sure it doesn't slow your website down for SEO purposes. And then with this new page section that we have coming out, we actually will size it for you exactly to what it needs to be with the different sections. But here it's just a general resize. Keep it large because you can use these images anywhere. So that's a good thing. So went over everything. The only other thing we have left to do is the galleries. And here is where you'll see the home slider when I talked about the home slideshow right here. So this is used in two areas. This controls your home slideshow, but it's also let's see which page has has galleries. None of them. So on each page you can see you can assign a gallery. So let's go to the face painting page and we can assign test gallery. Copy that URL, face painting, and then it shows that gallery at the bottom here. So all those images that are assigned in this gallery are now shown on this page. And the way that you can manage your gallery is over here in this section. So once you have this assigned, this test gallery, I'll never have to go into the page to edit. So I'll go into this test gallery. I can come in here, upload a new image. It drags it in there, put it wherever you want. And when you update that image, it should throw it right in there for you. So that's how you can add, you can remove images. And now there's removing those images. I apologize, I double clicked that too quick, so it popped over and then double deleted it. So this is how you can easily add images to your galleries or your slideshow. So we assigned in the settings, we assigned this is the slideshow. You'll notice both these images are the same size. I have sized these images beforehand and they're both exactly the same. If I come in here and upload an image that is not, and this is to show you, this is a 4.8 megabyte image. It's taking a while to upload because it's very large. Uploads it, resizes it. And now when we save it, you'll notice on the home page, that image is a lot bigger. So it's going to throw it off. It's going to pop down there. So I always recommend keeping your images all the same size so you don't have this pop up and down like that. So there's not a specific size for slideshows. I like to keep them a little bit shorter so you can have some more content up front. But as long as all your images are the same size, it's going to look professional. And then in future things, we'll go over image editing. I use Canva for cropping and editing my images, keep them the same. But we'll go over that in the future. But the other thing with galleries is each gallery image has a title and a subtitle. So for the title and subtitle, for the slideshow, it's going to give you an overlay on the bottom. So you can put a title and a subtitle and it puts it there. Now, for the gallery, when you add a title and a subtitle, it was face painting, yep. When it pops up here, you'll see the title and subtitle down there. So some people have used this to number or name their work in their gallery. So if someone come in and they say they liked a specific image, you can have a title, subtitle, a number down in the bottom, and they can tell you exactly which image they're looking at. So you don't have to worry about laying an image over it if you don't want to worry about that. So that's just an easy way to be able to manage that. This will also be used by default for the SEO title as well, for the images that you cannot edit. So, so this is the SEO title for the gallery as well, the alt tag. So I saw a couple images pop up here. Hopefully I saw you guys say slow down a little bit. So hopefully I've been going a little better. So I will go ahead and answer those at the end. I'm keeping a track of those for sure here. So I don't want you to think that I've forgotten about you. Just want to get through these so we can answer the questions all at the end. So yeah, the last part is your blog posts. Blog posts are very similar to pages. They look very similar with a few minor differences. Biggest difference is it has an image. So on your website, you have the blog section. This is the blog image, and this is the blog section. If you want to put a blog in the navigation bar, you can go to /blog, and here's a list of all your blogs that are in there. So if you want to create a new blog post, you'll come in here, create a new blog post, and then once you save that post, it'll automatically post it here on the top of your blog. So I'll come in here. When you're creating a blog post, each post has different categories. So you can see over here, I have different categories, and you can put them into categories. So if somebody's looking for a birthday, and you want to put a birthday category, when you click this, it'll show only the posts that are in that category. So these posts are the posts in category 2. But if I want to create a new blog post, I'll come in here, create add new blog. Put some content in there again. And here you can choose the category that you want. Pick your image. We'll stick with that image. It's a good quality image. I'm just going to leave the title blank for now. It's taking a little bit of upload because it's a larger image. Here also you can schedule for later. So if you want to schedule it for a different time, let's say I want this post to go out next Thursday, I can put the 23rd, and it won't show on your website until the 23rd. Similarly, you can backdate them as well, and it shows the date that you have on here. So once you have the blog post, you go in there, post it. You can see it's all saved in there. And now when I come back here, my new blog post is on the page. I go into it, it shows the blog and all the content. And you can edit a blog very same way you do a page. There's your image upload, and basically everything that you do on a page. So adding these categories over here, if you don't see any categories, you'll have to come add whatever categories you want. These are just some test ones that I added, but you can add category 5. And the URL is an SEO-friendly URL that is used for this link right here. So obviously we don't have any posts in category 5. Now you'll see there's a category 5 there. Once you throw categories in there, then you will see category 5. So blogging is a very good, the next webinar that we're doing is going to go a little more detail into blogging and organizing your pages, and I'll explain that. So we'll go into deeper details of that, but I want to make sure you understand how you blog, because it's a very important part of your website for SEO. Adding new blog posts to get to on the search engines and find more customers. Blogging is a very, very good, effective way of doing it. It doesn't take too much time. Just a couple posts a month is all you need to do. Perfect. So the next section is the settings here. So the settings are where you control a lot of the, I'm doing the e-commerce last because so you know where to set up everything for e-commerce. But the settings are where you can set up a lot of your website. So if you go to the shop settings, these are all your e-commerce settings. So your general settings. So when someone's creating a balloon bouquet, they're on their own, you can set a minimum order. So when they're coming in here and creating this balloon bouquet here, you see the total there. If I have a minimum order, let's say $50, updated, I have a minimum of $50. So it won't let you create a balloon bouquet that's less than the minimum order. So we'll have to come in here and create a bouquet over $50, and then it'll let me add that balloon bouquet to the cart right there. So that's what that section does, allows you to have a minimum order, so you're not doing a delivery for $2. When people are checking out on their website, they can choose whether they want it delivered or picked up, or they want to pick it up. If you don't offer one of those, if you only offer pickup, or in my instance, I didn't offer pickup because I didn't have a shop, I just had more of a warehouse that wasn't always manned. So I only had delivery, but you can turn either one of those off here. So if I turn pickups off, update the general settings, when I come back here, now I can only pick delivery. So you can kind of control what sections you offer when you're going through. Here's where you can do your tax rate. Taxes, I have found, are very complex. I have found that the taxes that I'm used to are a lot easier than a lot of states. So we've had a couple different iterations of this, and I worked with Karen quite a bit to get exactly what she needed for her state and a couple other people. And so if it's something that you can't figure out how to do with taxes, this is a very robust option, but there's a lot of different possibilities and it might be confusing. Or if there's something you can't do, let me know. We'll make sure it works. So basically, when people are checking out, you can collect sales tax. And basically, for the most part, there's two different types of sales tax. There's your regular sales tax and compound sales tax. The difference is a regular sales tax, you can only offer one of them per order. So if I have 5 different sales tax, let's say I have 10 different county taxes, and let's say the customer happens to qualify for 2 of them, it's only going to take the one with the highest priority. So here I have all of Utah, and here I only have the city of Payson. So if someone in the city of Payson was to order, they're going to qualify for this tax rate. But if they're also in Utah, so they also qualify for this tax rate. So what I would do is I would need to have a priority to make sure one has a higher priority, which one I want them to qualify for. And that will decide which tax rate they qualify for. The alternative to that is having compound tax rates. So if you have a compound, basically anything they qualify for, it'll be added together. So if these were compound tax rates, you'll notice the difference. Once they're compound, it's a checkbox. So if these are both compound and they qualified for both of them, then it would add the rate together. So instead of picking one, it will add them together and the tax rate would be closer to 10%. So what it'll always do, the tax rate will always go through, it'll pick one standard rate and then it'll grab all of the compound taxes on top of it. So typically this is like you have your Utah or your state tax, and then there might be county or city taxes on top of that, and those would be your compound taxes. So you kind of got to play and figure out how you use your taxes. But when you're adding them, use your tax name, the country that you're in, the state. These 2 are the only 2 that are required. Anything else that you leave blank, basically it means it'll apply for any of them. So if I do this one, this is basically all of California. If I was to add San Diego, the customer would have to type in the word San Diego to qualify for that. So the rest of this would be irrelevant. It'd have to be in California, and their city would have to be in San Diego. Now let's say if I take that out, 90121, I don't know, and that's the zip code they enter when they're checking out, then they have to be in California, United States, and this has to be their zip code. Put this one back in there. Now they have to be in California, United States, San Diego, and have that zip code. So you can realize you can get pretty finite on these things. One of the other ones I added well is a county. So if you have a county tax, basically what it'll do is this goes out to Google, puts the address of the customers in there and gets that county, and it will compare it to this. So coming out, there'll be a link here for you to check what the county name is. You need to make sure that county matches exactly what's in Google. The biggest mistake I see is most people leave off county at the end. They just put Utah or whatever your county is. So for the most part, everything I've seen has always had a county at the end, but you can look in Google to see exactly what your county is listed in Google. The tax rate is always point-based, decimal-based. So this is 5% tax rate. So if you type in 5, that would actually be a lot more than 5%. So 5% tax rate. This is if you are taxing your delivery fees. And this is how you set it to a compound tax. So one of the features that I needed to use for Karen was that for them, if a customer picks it up, they need to use their business address for tax purposes. If you're doing a delivery, it uses the delivery address or the billing address. So this is, if you want, basically if they select pickup and this is turned on, updated, basically now it'll use your business address for the tax rate. So if you, in your settings, your website settings, we'll come into that, but it's over here. You have your company address. It'll pull in that company address and compare it to here. So you want to make sure that you have a tax rate that you qualify for too if you have that turned on. So that is very complex, but it does do quite a bit and is quite robust. Like I said, if there's something that it's not doing for you, let me know and we can make sure that it does that for you. The next section is your delivery fees. So delivery fees are based upon zip code. So basically you have one zip code per line. So you have an area and you can have a list of zip codes. You have as many as you like here. It won't let you duplicate it, so that'll give me an error. I have each zip code can only be in one area. And then you have a delivery fee type. So originally it was just a flat delivery fee. So if anybody puts in these zip codes for the delivery address, then it has this delivery fee. We also have introduced a variable rate fee as well, to where you can add specific rates. So if they spend, this is the total shopping cart amount, if they spend between $0 and $20, the delivery fee is going to be $75 because it's got to be worth my time. But if they spend $50, I'll bring that down a little bit, and maybe 50 to 100, I'll do free delivery, just making it up. So you can kind of do a variable rate delivery as well, or a flat rate. It's going to apply basically when they're checking out, they put the delivery address in there. It'll compare it to these zip codes, and it will find which delivery area they're in. If it's not in any of them, it'll give a notification that it's not able to be delivered. They don't deliver to their address to contact the company. So that's kind of, in a sum, you just need to know the zip codes that you want to offer delivery to, and how much you want to offer that. The last section here is your delivery information. So this is basically when people are checking out here, they can choose their delivery and pickup information. So you can notice here, Sunday and Monday are blocked off. Or Sunday and Monday are blocked off, sorry. Sunday and Monday, people cannot register for. So you can come in here and you can choose which days of the week you want to offer deliveries. If you want to offer every day. You can also offer what times of the day. So when they choose the delivery day, they can choose what time they want it delivered. Some people like to be very finite on their time. Other people might want to make that little less finite. So you come in here, you can choose the beginning and end hours. So 7 to 8 p.m. basically. Oops, I just switched. So 8 p.m. And then now, right now I have 2-hour time blocks. So you'll notice here, each time block is 2 hours, 7 to 9, 9 to 11. If you want to be a little more lenient on your end, you can go all the way up to 5-hour time blocks. If there's any time left over, it'll just add it to the end. So if you, let's say you're open for 8 hours and you have 5-hour blocks, we have a 5-hour block and a 3-hour block basically for you to choose from. And then this is the delivery days out. So I know a lot of people, I for one, when I couldn't do same day delivery because there wasn't always someone at the office. So you'll notice here, I'm not able to do same day delivery, but you can even push it out multiple days. So if you want them to push it out up to a week in advance, they have to order. And that will basically block out the next 7 days if you have that set like that. And the last section is blocking out whole days. So let's say I want to block out the 30th. And come in here, say I am out of town on the 30th. Update it. You'll notice they can't choose the 30th anymore. So it's a nice way for you to be able to block out categories and, block out dates and choose what times you're delivering and being picked up. So pretty straightforward. Next section is your website information. This is just the general information. So your name, address, this is your social media URLs. So when they click on these links up here, take it to Twitter, these are the links they get taken to. This is your address that's used for when you do your address as the delivery as the tax. And this is the phone number in your header. It's used right there. So currently, this is the email address that all notifications get sent to. So when a new order comes in, you will be notified at this email. And one of the requests that came out is having multiple email addresses. So pretty soon you'll be able to add multiple notification email addresses for notifications. But for now, this is where you will set the email that gets notified when you get an order. So if you have Google Analytics, when you create your Google Analytics account, they give you an ID. To make it easy for you, all you have to do is put that ID in here. If that ID is in there, I go in there and I create the script for you automatically. So you don't have to worry about pasting it in the header or whatnot. I put it in the best place possible for you. Just put the ID in there. I'll make sure your website's being tracked in Google Analytics. This section's a little more advanced. Let's say you need to add a custom script. A lot of people will do this for like Facebook. Or sometimes you'll have like a chat box and they'll tell you to put a script in there. This is where you can put some JavaScript scripts in your website. And if you ever need to do custom CSS or you know what CSS is, you can write custom CSS that changes colors and styles and you can paste it in there. So if I've done your website, there's a good chance you see some custom CSS in there because I like to play with that and customize the websites a little bit. So most people will not have to ever deal with this. And then this is only if you have a tool that requires, it'll say, put this script in the header, and that's where you'll just copy and paste it in there. You won't have to do too much. This is your SEO settings for your homepage. So when you go to the homepage, you'll notice there's your title up there. And then the description is obviously, let's see, I don't know if this is going to be on Google or not. Let's see if Google has this website. They do. Perfect. So that you can see that's the title, that's the description for your homepage. So you can down every page individually, but this is where you'll do it for your homepage, your SEO settings. And then we already went over the template section. This is basically your homepage and your header information that we went over before. Perfect. All right, so the very last section is integrations. And we have some more tools coming out as well. Instagram is one of them, and it should be released soon, as well as a few others. But here's where you can do your integration. So basically the main purpose right now for integrations is your payment for when people are paying for when they're checking out on your website. So you can sign up with PayPal, Square, or Stripe. And basically you come in here and you can connect your account. So when they put their credit card information in and click play, we contact your account and put the money into your account, get it approved, authorize it, charge the card, and Stripe gives us a receipt and we track all that on our end. But these are the companies that will do your credit card processing. So if you have an e-commerce, you basically just need to make sure you sign up for one of these credit card processors. It will process the credit card. Come in here, it's very easy. Just follow the instructions, put the information in, save it, and you are set to start processing credit cards. One thing I will say is each one of these companies have their own way of testing. So for instance, Stripe, they have, when you're getting these keys, they have your live and your test keys. So your live keys are used when you're ready to go live and actually charge a credit card. Your test keys are used when you're running tests. So you put your test keys in there, and then they have specific credit card numbers that are used to get specific results. So here's any of the card numbers you can choose, you can use when testing on Stripe. And I mean, it's a lot of information. There's specific ways to get, see, charges decline with an expired code. So you can put that in there and make sure it doesn't work. So yeah, so you can go through and each number will give you a specific result. But that's how you test it to make sure it's working. And then once it's working, you can change it to your live keys and it'll work, just to verify. So long-winded, I believe that's everything. If you're with All Pro Web Tools, very easy to connect here as well. The last thing is here, your billing and profile. This is where you can change just your billing information, your profile information, update your password. If you need to change your credit card that's being charged, you can do that here. So come on, this is my demo account, so it's not actually card setup, so it's going to error out. But for you guys, you can click there, update card, and it'll allow you to add a new card if you need to redo your billing or change your credit card. So, okay. So that pretty much wraps it all up, all the questions. I'm going to go through all the questions that we had here and answer all those questions. If you have any questions, throw them in there. I think if you want to, let's see, I have attendees here. I have you all listed here, so feel free to raise your hand in the description or let me know inside of the chat if you want to talk, and I'd be happy to allow you to come on and share some time with me now. So one of the questions that we had is why you would have categories for blog posts. Now, the biggest thing is for you to be able to organize it. So for us in the balloon industry, or for local businesses, it's probably not as crucial as somebody, let's say, who's blogging for a living. But it does still allow you to organize your blog posts in different sections for your customers. So generally, customers are coming to your website for a specific reason. A lot of people only offer one service. But if you offer a lot of different services, you might want to be able to organize that a little better to make sure that customers can more easily find what they're looking for. So for instance, if it's a birthday, they might be looking for birthday balloons or birthday ideas. And if they happen to come in on a blog post and then they go, I want to see what other birthday options there are, they can click on birthday, they can go through all your birthday posts to see all the different blog posts that are all the different blog posts in that category. So it is good. It also does help with Google to have categories as well, because one of the back metadata things that it looks for blogs is a category. So we submit that information, and it is another keyword, another help for Google. So Stacy asked, thanks for the training. I need it. How do I add image that is in the media session again to one of my pages? So how do they take images and add it to pages? So there's a button here to answer it live. I'm clicking this. I don't know what it does. We're going to test it here though. So, okay. So yeah, so if you have a media a picture in your media, you can come in here, you can copy this URL here. This is the link to that image. So you'll notice I went to that image, and this is the image. So you'll copy that URL. You'll go into your blogs or your pages or wherever you're entering it. You'll want to check wherever you want to enter this. So I'm going to put this right here. And there's a little section here called image. That's where you put the URL. An SEO-friendly keyword description. Make sure you spell it right. Well, and then alignment is if left or right. So you can do it on the left. You can also switch it to the right. And that puts it on the right of the screen. If you double click it, it pulls it back up. Now, one trick that if you have none, you'll notice it kind of puts it in line. It's kind of in with that. So if you want it, for instance, if you wanted it centered, push enter, get that on its own line, highlight it, and you can put it in the middle of the page too. So it is possible to center it. You can still align it that way as well. So, and then once you save that, I believe it was post 4. Two, 3, 4. Notice that's images in there. So now you're looking at it, you're thinking, well, that's a little too big. So I'm going to go back into 4. Let's make that a little smaller. So we're going to go 300. Update it. Makes it a little bit smaller there for you. So it looks a little funky because of this, everything's centered and stuff. That's an easy way for you to go in and edit those images and make sure they are however you want them. So back to none, update it, show what it looks like, centered. So now it's centered in there. So the new feature, only difference that we added was the upload image. Instead of having to upload in the media, you can upload it here instead, and you can upload through Instagram. So currently I'm in the process of switching the media section to using this tool as well. It takes a little more because I want to make sure you can do mass updates to import a lot. So pretty shortly, you're going to be able to import all of your images from Instagram as well as Facebook. So Facebook just takes a little more to set up. So obviously you can still drag them in there. You can still click and pick one on your desktop as well. And then I love this little feature where you can kind of edit it and edit the image. So it puts a little more control into your hand. So copy that URL, same thing here. It's not a live page though, so I'm not gonna do too much. Obviously that's way too big. You'll see it resized at 1200 like I said it would. Make it smaller, pretty straightforward. So I clicked done that I answered that question. I did it as a live answer. I don't know what that does. I guess we'll see though. Another one is, do you use QuickBooks and QuickBooks Intuit? I personally did not use QuickBooks Intuit. I used Zoho, which was very similar, Zoho Books. Pretty basically the same thing. If you're talking into regards of the orders going into QuickBooks, one of the plugins that we have, it's not close to done, but it has been worked on, is a Zapier plugin. So you'll be able to send all your orders through Zapier to whatever plugins. So they have thousands of different tools, QuickBooks being one of them. So if you ever needed to send your order information over to someone else, as long as they have a Zapier, which most platforms do, you'll be able to share that with thousands of different tools. So that will be coming out hopefully quickly. but that's something we're doing too. So Stacy says you're not able to copy the URL. So what I do is I come in here and I double click, triple click, or you can also highlight it, click on it, highlight it and drag it. But if I use click a couple times in there, it'll get some three times clicking it. And then you can right click and copy, or you can do Control C on the pages. Oops. On the pages, when you upload an image, there is a button for you to copy it. I'll show that again. So after you click copy URL, and it copies the URL, and that's the URL. And this feature with a copy the URL will be in the media section as well when we update to use that tool. But for now, you can double, triple click it and copy with right click or Control C. If you're still not able to, let me know, and we can do a conference call and see exactly why yours is having an issue. But you should be able to do that. Okay. Okay. So Karen says the people using Square have had an issue ordering. Karen, I'll reach out to you. Last I saw, we'd updated this. There was an issue with Square not being mobile friendly that I fixed, and I'll get in touch with you to see what other issues you're having. But in general, a full shopping cart, there is a lot of scrolling. A lot of information has to be put in from mobile, but it is possible to go through. But I'll get in touch with you. So going through the questions here. If there's any other questions, let me know. So do we need to do the research and know all of the county or zip codes to use the tax option? Yes. So you would need to know whatever your tax rates are. They're constantly changing. For me, it was very easy. It was just a flat state tax and a flat county tax and a city tax, but those never changed. So each city, I just had one tax rate that I paid to one place. Each city was a little bit different, but it was still one rate that I charged for everybody. But yeah, you would need to know exactly how it is in your area. If you have some questions, I would consult a tax person, an accountant, because I definitely am not a tax expert. I have programmed to make whatever needs to be done work, but the laws and stuff like that I've found are different in every city and every state and country. And it is some states are very confusing. So yeah, you might need to consult with an accountant to know for sure. But yeah, once you know that, you should be able to accomplish everything you need within that tax section. If you can't, let me know by all means. Okay. I'm just going through the questions here. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, Karen, you raised your hand. Would you like to talk? All right, let me see if I can, let's pull this off.
Can you hear me?
There?
Yep, I'm here.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just wanted to speak to the tax thing because we went round and round a lot about that. Where we are, each county has its own tax. Luckily, most of the counties are all the same. I think right now in Wisconsin, there's only 3 counties that don't have a county tax. So it was really a pain to figure all that out. But like you said, each state is different. But one thing here in Wisconsin also is we have to charge tax on our delivery. If you're delivering a taxable product, the delivery fee is also taxable, unless it's to a nonprofit or something like that. And that's something too, I don't know on the website if you can turn off the tax for a nonprofit. I didn't see anything for that yet. But most of them aren't ordering through my website anyways. So, but yeah, So, and I liked how in your button that you can add the be tax on the delivery, because I don't know if all states are like that, but they definitely need to check the tax laws in their state. We also have one county here that, and then there's a city tax for the stadium for Lambeau Field. We're in Green Bay. So if I'm delivering to that part of Green Bay, I also have to charge them the stadium tax too. But I have to charge taxes onto wherever they're receiving the product. So even if they come in my store and order it, but they're having me deliver it somewhere else, I have to charge the tax for where I'm delivering it, which really stinks, but that's the way it is here.
Cool. I kind of like this little call-in feature, but yeah, yeah, every state is is very different, and it's so complex. It's hard to know exactly what you're doing with that. And I had something you were talking about that I was going to respond to, and then I forgot what we were talking about. I apologize. Had a mind blank there, but yeah, yeah. If you figuring out what your taxes are can be difficult, can be easy, but if you're something you're not able to accomplish, by all means, let me know, and we can make sure that it works. So, okay. Any other questions? Oh, I remember what I was going to say, Karen. Yeah, so in Utah, they actually changed to where delivery was not taxable because it's a service, the delivery fee, and then they pushed to have it changed. So the last year of my business, they changed it to all services being taxable. So now delivery, I had to switch that to be taxable. That's what I was going to say. So yeah, every state is so different. And from what the sounds of it, I haven't had to do with it yet, but it sounds like California, I think, is the most complex and the most options. So. So Julie asked, will you be adding a help system to the portal? So the portal itself, I'm looking in different ways of integrating a help system. We do have a ticketing system. So a ticketing system. So if you email support@balloonsuite.com, comes in our ticketing system. Right now with the coronavirus, it's been a little less staffed than usual for responses, and but I try to check those every day, at most every other day. If there's work or something needs to be done, it might take me some time to do the work. But yeah, you can email support@balloonsuite.com, and it goes into our help system. And I'm hoping to find a way to bring those tickets into the dashboard so you can see what tickets you have open. So there's already that help system. There's just not a way for you to go in and track them. But if you email us, you'll get that same support. So, all right, okay. Okay, so perfect. We've gone over an hour, guys. We're going to wrap this up. The last thing I wanted to mention is the next webinar that I'm going to be doing out there. These are just for during this time to kind of help you get with your website and get going, so that when this lockdown is lifted, that you can go ahead and be in the best place for your website, for your business to succeed. And I truly do believe that having a good website and an online presence is going to be one of the best ways of finding customers. It's how I grew my balloon business, how I made all the money in my business. And I know almost anybody could use the internet in our industry to have that success. So the next webinar, I'm pushing out a couple weeks, give us some time to gather some information, but I also don't want to compete with Balloon Coach webinars next week as well. So the next one's going to be on how to organize your pages and posts and to create an SEO plan for your website. So I have it tentatively planned for May 5th. And it's basically, we're going to go over, now that we have an idea of how these sections are, actually, I don't know if you can see that there. Make sure you can see that. So now that we've gone through the sections and you know how to add pages and posts, I'm hoping by then that this new page section that we have almost done will be finished, and we can give you a tutorial of that. And I'm also hoping to be able to sit down and have a good plan with you guys to kind of sit down and how to organize your website to make sure that you are getting the best results on the search engines. So this one will probably be a little bit different of a platform, maybe a little more interactive. but I wanted to make sure we had these base foundations before we stick too deep into it. Because the last thing I want to do is tell you things to do, and then you guys get frustrated. So as you're going through, if you have any questions when you're going through this portal, if anything we talked about, we went over a lot today. I am recording this. It's going to be uploaded to YouTube, and it's going to be shared, so you can go ahead and view that at any time. If you have any questions, always reach out. If you can't figure out how to do something, we're not going to give you a hard time or tell you ran out of support time. If you can't figure something out, reach out to us. The last thing I want you to do is to be frustrated. So one of the worst things I've hated is when I see someone frustrated and there's something I could have done to help that. So many times I hop on, help somebody, explain to them how to do certain things, and they realize it wasn't so hard, but they made it harder because they just couldn't figure it out. So let me help you make it easy if you can't figure something out, and we'll do this together. So if you have any questions, email support@Balloon Suite. But I appreciate you for coming, and until next time, thank you.